Speak soon.
Okay.
Rob Henderson there from the NAB. Now, after listing on the ASX in April this year, Novarise, China's largest plastic recycling company, announced plans for a new production facility. It's due to be completed in June next year, and the Chinese plant's tipped to significantly ramp up production. Novarise basically produces eco-friendly bags and is now targeting the Australian market, specifically the big two, Woolies and Coles. For more on this, the company's director, John O'Brien, joins me now in studio. And John, this is a really interesting story, so I appreciate your time today.
No problem.
Just put us into the headspace, though. Basically, you're recycling materials and you're turning them into products like plastic bags.
Yes. Yep.
Where are you sourcing these materials from, firstly?
It's polypropylene, so it comes from old CD cases, old laptop bags, that sort of stuff. So it's a particular type of plastic, and it's being sourced from all over the world. So there's, I think we have it's about 50% from overseas and 50% from within China, and then the production facilities.
Literally taking them out of rubbish dumps, or there's kind of
there's recycling
programs in place. Okay.
Yep.
And you're actually based in China.
Yes.
The company started in China, but you're listed here in Australia.
Yep.
What's so special about that kind of China-Australia relationship that you've actually listed here?
Yeah, the company looked at sort of where should we list. You know, they wanted to grow and raise money. They've got some great technology, and they looked at Hong Kong and Singapore and Shanghai, and decided actually they wanted to go to a more mature capital market. So decided on Sydney as a stepping stone to the rest of the world. So not looking at the aim eventually is to be in Europe and North America with the technology. But the view in China was that the Australians are kind of okay to deal with. You know, they're not the Americans, they're not the Europeans, and it's the same time zone, and it's life's easy and sort of coming to Sydney.
It's interesting because, as you say, you listed just earlier this year in April, but not long before that, there became this great climate scepticism in Australia, I suppose, and the whole climate change debate just fell off a cliff in many ways, driven by the political debate. How do you see that kind of progressing now, and does that still stand, that Australia's got that green thing going for us?
I mean, there are elements in Australia where absolutely there's strong support for environmental technologies. One of the things we do is publish the Clean Tech Index, which tracks environmental stocks and their performance, and they've done really badly over the last year. But there are real niches where there's support coming, and I think the recent political changes, and we're now, you know, carbon is back on the agenda. We're allowed to talk about carbon again. I think we'll see that it's going to turn a bit more with the institutional investors.
What did you put that underperformance of the clean tech stocks down to in the past year? The political debate? Political
debates certainly had a big impact in that, and there were also some of the larger stocks had some specific issues with exchange rates and commodity prices and things.
And tell us about some of your big customers. Who you're producing these products for now?
So a lot of the products we produce end up as laptop carry bags, or the handles of laptops. So they actually end up we're selling to Dell and to all the big computer manufacturers. So they're probably the main market at the moment for the webbing.
And you also do like the grocery bags, which means you're targeting Woolies and Coles here in Australia. Where are those discussions at?
They're progressing. So we're certainly not there yet, but we've so certainly the green shopping bags we're selling those in China.
They've already got their own at the moment, don't they?
Yeah, I mean they have their own supply. So we're discussing with them. One of the real angles of this technology is that it's using recycled polypropylene, and it's actually 20% cheaper to get recycled polypropylene than it is to buy virgin polypropylene from oil. So we can actually offer products that are cheaper to the market, and more environmentally friendly.
And I mean, you're obviously exporting all around the world, as you said. What's the appetite within China for these recycled products?
Absolutely huge. I mean, it's growing. There was legislation passed in I think January '09, which is the Circular Economy Protection Law. So there's massive impetus into recycling within China. So there's the growth within the China market is actually bigger than elsewhere, but the growth of the company is even bigger than that. So we're looking internationally as well.
So when you compare Australia and China, who's actually leading the charge when it comes to clean technology, if you like, and that demand and the appetite for it?
We've been doing quite a lot of work with China and Korea recently, and I'd say they're probably shooting past Australia pretty quickly. We've got some great research in the universities and the research institutes, but from a technology commercialisation, certainly a regulatory framework, China's ahead of Australia.
Yeah, and in terms of the investment community, is there more work to be done there as well?
Yeah, I mean, there's the Australian investment community is more mature, so it will invest in the larger stocks. So Novarise has a market cap of nearly 100 million, so it's getting reasonable size, but a lot of the small clean technology stocks kind of get ignored by Australian investors. And there's a lot of private investors in China who will then pick those up, and some of the work we're doing is actually helping Chinese investors look for Australian clean technologies and help take them to China.
Is that something that's at a very early stage, or? Yeah,
I mean it is reasonably early, but it's we're hoping to get some reasonable successes out of that, and actually some technologies that might get stuck in Australia, actually that's fine. It will get a Chinese investor and off we go and take it to the world via Beijing. Sure.
And so you've got this new production facility as well.
Yep.
You've had the listing in April this year.
Yep.
Where are the expansion plans from here then?
So we raised 25 million in April. With the main funds from that were to upgrade the existing facility, so that's been done. So the capacity's gone up from 25,000 to 35,000, so it went up 40%. We're now in the process. We bought some land and we're building a new factory, and that'll be operational sort of second quarter next year, and that'll increase the production by another 200%. Okay. So sort of from where we were before the listing, we'll have and the demand for that, we seem to be as much as we increase the capacity, the demand's there, and the feedstock's there, so we're growing fast.
It sounds like a lot of your customers, as you said, though, that is from that technology space, and that's kind of boom bust territory in terms of going with the cycles. Did you see much of a slowdown for those exports through the last few years?
Yeah, no, with Novarise, we've seen there was certainly a slowdown through the GFC, and just from a general economic activity, there was a little bit less feedstock, there was a little bit less sales. Not hugely, but it did slow down a bit. It's really ramped up now.
I was going to say, importantly, is it picking up? That's probably the better question.
We're flying at the moment, and we're at full capacity to the end of the year. We've booked all the capacity we've got in the factory, and from the early indications, we're going to be fully booked with the new capacity as well. So.
Good stuff, John. Thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
John O'Brien from Novarise, and the ticker code, I think, NOE on the ASX this morning. Actually, I should check it at the moment. NOE, I've got no 16 cents, there you go. And coming up, we'll get the latest moves from the US markets. That's on Street Sense.